Welcome back. In this video lesson, I'll be showing you how to view workbooks side by side. How you can view workbook or compare two workbooks side by side. And to do that, you go to your View tab, select your View tab. Under the Windows section, you'll see the View side by side. This is the option you select to view two workbooks that are open side by side. So the workbooks need to be open. And how do you know the workbooks are open? You click on the drop down arrow under the switch window option. We looked at this feature in our previous lesson. So just click on the drop down. You'll notice that I have two workbooks that are open, though the active one is section 6. That's why you see this ticked showing that this is the active workbook. So ensure you have two workbooks in order to view side by side, because for you to view side by side, it has to be more than one workbook, right? So having confirmed that, I'll just click on this option, view side by side. Good. Now you can see my section 6 workbook is the active workbook, and I have the section 4. So being the active workbook, I have the minimize, the maximize, and the close button. If I select this becomes the active workbook. You see the minimize, maximize, and close, as I stated even in our previous lesson. There's also something I would like us to notice when we immediately we selected this view side by side. You see that this synchronous scrolling is now active, meaning that it works in hand with this feature. And also the reset window position is also active. Now, the synchronous scrolling makes it possible in the sense that when you scroll on the active workbook, you can see that the two workbooks are scrolling. This is the active workbook. Now, if I scroll on it, you see that this one is also scrolling. So that's the essence of this synchronous scrolling. That's the scrolling has been synchronized, right? So if you don't want the two workbook to scroll while I'm scrolling this active workbook, all you need to do is just to select this synchronous scrolling again, and it will be deactivated. You see that it's no longer highlighted. So if I scroll on this, you see that this one is not scrolling. So you can see. So if I select it again and watch what happens, you see it's scrolling. So you can activate it and you can deactivate it by still selecting on this option. Now, while working, you can on the two workbooks side by side, you may likely want to expand one of the workbook to view it to have a better view of it. And after you're done, you want to take it back to reset it to its position. So you use this reset window position to do that. So I'll just click on reset. Now, okay, it's placed it horizontally for me. It has reset the window position, but now it arranged it horizontally. So the only thing I'll do, I just come to this arrange option, still under the window section. Remember, we looked at how to arrange windows. So I'll click on it and I'll select the vertical and I say, okay, good. Window has been brought to its default position. Remember, I increased this and now it's now in its default position. Good. So that's how you can view the workbook side by side. And when you are done to deactivate this view side by side, you just click on the view side by side again, and there you go. So I'll just my active, I want this to be active, then I'll click on view side by side to deactivate the view side by side feature. Good. So there you go. Now we have our active workbook, the view side by side. So that's how you go about viewing two workbooks side by side in order to compare the workbook. This brings us to the end of this lesson. I'll see you in the next lesson.